The spy action comedy Argylle, well, this one, it was alright. It wasn't nothing special. And when it comes down to it, I just thought this film was a little underwhelming at times. So the story of this one is that an author named Ellie Conway, she writes a book based on a world of spies. But when a real spy shows up, he tells her that she is in danger, and then both of them go on quite the adventure. And from there, it's a movie that I had found lackluster and boring at times. Interesting enough, I don't hate this film. Sure, it has a whole lot of issues, but it's not like it's one of the worst movies I have seen recently. Now, the story is subpar, the character development is weak, and quite frankly, I feel like the acting could have been a little bit better. It's not bad, but it's not very memorable either, to be honest. This one is somewhat entertaining, but for the most part, I was just waiting for this movie to be over. And one of the reasons is because this movie didn't do enough to impress me. In fact, I felt more underwhelmed than I was entertained. At the end of the day, I certainly will label this movie as disappointing, but at least it's not horrible in my opinion. One of the main issues I had with this film is that it was inconsistent. Seriously, there's like 3 movies rolled into one. One of them felt like Enemy of the State, but the comedy version of it. And nothing against Bruce Dallas Howard, I thought her acting was okay. It's just that the character she's playing isn't that interesting. And then you have her and Sam Rockwell, their chemistry wasn't that great, to be honest. And I was really saying to myself, okay, they're on the poster, but they're not front and center. Why do they have Henry Cavill be front and center of the poster? And speaking of which, if him and John Cena were the main 2 stars of this movie, then I think this film would have been a lot better. It certainly would be more entertaining. It certainly would have been more thrilling. But nah, they're only in the movie for like a couple of minutes. And as far as the villain is concerned, Bryan Cranston, he did a decent job. But honestly though, the story is just a mess. And I get that this is a spy comedy movie, but if they play onto the side of being on the comedic side of it, then maybe I would have enjoyed this more. I barely laughed at this movie. I was just shaking my head saying, what is this? It's not a dumpster fire, but it's no great movie either. And then there's the CGI cat. Need I say more? Like, I like seeing the CGI cat, it was nice, but, honestly, this film would just have so many missteps. Seriously though, if you're into this type of genre, you can check this out. In fact, you might like it more than I did. It's just, quite frankly, I just want this movie to be a little bit something more. And as far as the action scenes are concerned, well, one of them had smoke effects. I was like, I can't see a damn thing. And then there's another action sequence, well, it was over the top, but I kind of liked it. But honestly though, this movie it misfired for me. I just didn't have that much of a fun time. I enjoyed this movie in parts. But quite frankly, this film, it just didn't live up to my expectations as a greater movie that it could have been, to be honest. I'm giving this film a 6 out of 10. This one is okay, it's middle of the road, but it's just not very memorable compared to other spy comedy movies out there. And while I don't fully blame the director Matthew Vaughn, this film is no Kingsman: The Secret Service. Another issue I have with this one is that it's just too long. It's 2 hours and 19 minutes, and honestly, if it was less than 2 hours, then that would have been greatly appreciated by a lot of people. Other than that, this is a film I'm going to forget about in a few weeks anyway, and the only thing I'm really going to remember about is just how underwhelming it was, like I mentioned before, and how much more entertaining this movie should have been. And that's my review of Argylle. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie if you have seen it. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.